guys, Morgan here, aka MTG Valkyrie, doing another Legacy Cube draft. We are once more in a Swiss draft because, well, why not? We're gonna build a sweet deck, so we might as well play with it. Here, the most powerful card is probably Natural Order. Witness Prowler is a good enabler, as well as just being a 3/1 flyer for 2. Blade Splicer is just a solid creature, as is Courser of Grufix. I think first picking Natural Order is like a pretty high reward thing to do. There are a couple of really good green creatures here, as well as Ramp, and if we pick it up early enough, we can definitely build a deck around it. And if we don't end up playing like the Natural Order combo-y deck, then, well, we can do something else, and that's totally okay. So, in the Natural Order deck, you're looking for Elves. However, there's an Upheavel in this pack, and Upheavel is just the best card. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Upheaval over the Elves at Deep Shadow. Like, that's not a question. There's also a Garruk Relentless, which is pretty good in the green decks. But Upheaval, return all permanents to their owner's hands, is the butters. So yeah, we're gonna take that. The Upheaval decks require just as much work as the Natural Order decks, and it doesn't have to be quite like an opposite direction. You need a lot of ramp in the Upheaval decks so that you can add a bunch of mana to your mana pool and then Upheaval and then spit out your hand again. It's a little bit harder to do with mana creatures as opposed to mana rocks, but it's still, like, again, it's one of those speculative picks that really pays off when you get it early because you're able to build around it more effectively. I think we just want the Fyndhorn Elves. There's a couple of dual lands. I haven't really committed to anything yet. I could take the Steam Vents, but I think Fyndhorn Elves is definitely the pick here. You kind of want to stake your claim in the mana dorks pretty early on, and so far we haven't really passed any good ones. I'd say Elves of Deep Shadow is probably the worst one, because Boreal Druid isn't in the set anymore, or in the cube. Basalt Monolith is exactly what we're looking for in the Upheaval deck. Adds 3 to your mana pool, which is a huge amount of ramp at 3 mana. Here's Bloodbraid Elf, I guess, is the second best card in the pack for like the kind of things that I'm doing right now. But Basalt Monolith is definitely something that we want to pick up. There's not a lot we want in this pack. I could see taking either Sunpetal Grove or Maelstrom Pulse. I think both of those cards are fine. I think we'd rather have the Pulse. Yeah. We'll just take the Pulse. I think we just want to take Negate here. Like, Genesis Wave is fine, too, I suppose. Even with Basalt Monolith. Yeah, I guess we can take the Payoff card for the ramp. We'll pick up some fatties. For example, not everyone wants Progenitus, because you can't reanimate it. Here, I'm pretty easily taking this Ponder. Ponder is good in the green decks because it allows you to not just draw all ramp or all fat. It's also good in the Upheaval deck as it, again, lets you draw some action and some ramp as opposed to just all of one. Swords to Plowshares, Wake Thrasher, and Llanowar Waste are also reasonable pickups, but I'm pretty happy with just a Ponder. Here, I think it's just Wolfir Silverheart. Like, it's a target for Natural Order. It's not great, but immediately getting like 12 power spread among 2 creatures is just insane. We could take Psychotog, we could take Luna's Prowler. I think we just want the Duplicant though. Yeah, it's removal. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the Yavimaya Coast over Taiga. Yeah, we'll be fine. Like I said, Ponder's good in both the green deck and the Upheaval deck, so it's kind of nice that that kind of allows us to cross over. There's a Temple of Malady and a Steam Vents. I guess I'd rather have the Temple of Malady because I'm more likely to splash black, especially for this Pulse. I'll take the Slaughter Pact, I suppose. I'll take this Overlord and put it in my sideboard. Yeah. See, Fat goes super late. So this pack doesn't have any great Fat in it, but it does have some nice utility. Mox Diamond is a good one with like Deathrite Shaman, but it's not something that I'm interested in taking right now. Sakura Tribelder is ramp or something to sacrifice to Natural Order. Forcible is just good. Swift Temptation is just good, but I think I just want the Thran Dynamo because I still really want to play Upheaval, you guys. That's my favorite. Here, there is an Arbor Elf and a Utopia Sprawl, so there's a combo, plus a Worn Power Stone and a Treachery. And I think, since I have the Basalt Monolith, I'll just take the Treachery. Treachery is another one of those cards that's really good. Like, Tarn is nice. It would have been, yeah, it would have been nice, but like, and Utopia Sprawl is good with Treachery, so if we wheel it, I'll definitely take it. But right now, I just want, like, the Fat. Speaking of, definitely just taking this Craterhoof Behemoth. It's an endgame regardless of whether we're playing Natural Order or not. Like, even if you just hardcast it after ramping a bunch, it does really well. So, we're definitely not going to pass that up. Here, there is a Shardless Agent, which can cascade into Fyndhorn Elves or Ponder right now. There's a Voyaging Satyr, which is great with Gaia's Cradle, although I'm not quite sure how good it is going to be in this deck. There's also a Clique and a Repeal. Clique is great to make sure the coast is clear for doing things like Upheaval, and Repeal is just a solid card to have. Between the Voyaging Satyr and the Clique, I think, are my choices. I think I'd rather have the Clique. Blue doesn't get a lot of hand disruption, so when it does, it's taking a selfie. Huh. Alright. Well. Deep Analysis is good. Misty Rainforest, I think, is what we want to be taking, though. Like, Woodfall Primus is pretty sweet, too, just because it has Trample. I think we want Mana Fixing, though. And we're not necessarily even playing green. Should probably throw that out there, like, it's not something we have to do. Here's Vraska, Thespian Stage, Watery Grave, and Go for the Throat. Thespian Stage just sometimes randomly wins you games. Watery Grave is mana fixing for, like, Maelstrom Pulse, if we wanted. Or we could end up just playing, like, black cards. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Watery Grave. So I could take Languish and, like, move into a blue-black kind of control deck to the endgame of Upheaval. There's also a Pact of Negation and a Night Veil Spectre. I think we take Languish, though. That seems like a fine thing to do. Here, Profane Command is pretty good, but I think we just want the Sphere of the Suns as additional ramp. I guess I take the Roast. Yeah, I'm not really interested in Sorin Solemn Visitor. I'm just gonna take the Drowned Catacomb. I think Secure the Wastes is the best card in the pack. We're just gonna cut some of these red creatures because maybe there's not a red deck floating around because we have been getting past a bunch of the red creatures, but it feels like if it was, somebody would be in very good shape. Guess I'll take Demonic Pact. That's actually pretty sweet with Upheavel. Can play Demonic Pact, use it a couple of times, and then Upheavel, and then like pulse it or something. I don't know. And Student of Warfare. Glad we don't have to play against that card. So best cards in this pack for this deck are probably Condescend, Llanowar, Flooded Strand, and Ophiomancer. Ulamog's a nice thing to aspire to with like Basalt Monolith and Thran Dynamo, but it's not something that I necessarily plan on doing. I think we just want Condescend here. We don't really have any counterspells yet. And it's a way to protect our quote-unquote combo of Upheaval and Ramp. Okay, so here we have Big Daddy Gristlebrand, which I don't think we can hope to cast regardless of what we're doing. There's also a Garrick, if we want to go back on the green plan. We do have some stuff for it. There's Rofellos, also good for the green plan. We might just want this Hymn to Turak, though. Hymn is pretty good. There's also Serum Visions. This is kind of a tough pack. Interesting. So if I was going to take a green card, it would probably be Rofellos. Blue card would be Serum Visions, and black card, Hymn to Turak, I suppose. I have no self-control. Alright. Oh, Ancestral Vision. That's a good one. Glad we didn't take the Serum Vision. We've got a better vision right here. Ancestral Vision, target player draws 3 cards. Pretty cut and dry. Really good. Probably not going to play these two things, but those two things seem fine. Hopefully we don't, like, run out of things to do. I guess we just want, like, a Rampant Growth, right? It's kind of awkward. It's not great with Upheaval because you can't, like, cast spell, like, you can't play multiple lands after you've Upheavaled, but yeah, I think Rampant Growth is worthwhile. Wild Mongrel, not. You have a good green card, especially to play with Upheaval and Craterhoof. There's also a really good blue card, though. Like, I like Dismiss a lot. I think we do want Rampaging Baloths, though, because unlike something like Avenger of Zendikar, it is actually really good to play early. So, like, ramping it out with Rofellos, or Natural Order, or just, like, good ol' Basalt Monolith, would be actually useful. I don't think we can afford to use Future Sight. Tasigur seems like it would be something we could play with. Abrupt Decay as well. I think we want Tasigur. Like, Tasigur in this deck is probably going to be a 3 or less. So, having it and then being able to activate its ability is pretty good. Also, if we decide for some reason that we want to play Languish, it gets out of Languish range. So, Overgrown Tomb is a piece of mana fixing that I don't think we need, but it could be useful. Careful Study is good with Tasigur, just not great. Liliana is a thing to do, but we aren't really looking for that either. I think we just want Into the Roil. Into the Roil is a good way of making sure that we don't get, like, run over by our opponent's stuff. There's a decision to be made, and I think it's just Gilded Lotus. Managorger Hydra is good, Doomblade is good, Kokosho is good, but Gilded Lotus is the last piece of the Upheavel puzzle, in my opinion. Where now we have a bit of ramp at every mana cost up until we hit Upheavel. Here, Llanowar is pretty nice. It's just, you know, another thing to play that can attack once we have Craterhoof Behemoth. I'm going to take the Scrubland. I'm probably not going to play it. Falconroth Aristocrat can definitely go on the sideboard, as can Eternal Dragon. Don't really want to have to deal with a Bloodghast. Or an Ash Cloud Phoenix for that matter. Yeah, this deck is a little, like, action light, I suppose. I have 2 creatures to sacrifice to this natural order, so that's going to be the cut to put us at 17 lands and some spells. I think it looks fine. Genesis Wave probably isn't great either. We actually might be able to get away with Languish. Huh. Yeah, Genesis Wave hits... How many permanents do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It also, like, combos if you hit both Rampaging Baloths and Craterhoof Behemoth with it. So, yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah, I think we just add some basics. Do we even need a black mana? Not really. I don't want one. Just add another green. Or blue, I mean. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Versus 1, 2, 3 green sources. Oh. Yeah, we've got a lot of double blue early, so we'll do that. And we'll submit the deck, and we'll see how it goes. This deck was the draft was a little unfocused, which is not something I like, but our packs were a little power light, I think. Honestly, if we were going to have taken the best deck for our seat, it was probably the red deck that we kept passing. But hopefully this will get there, and if it does, we will be having a lot of fun. If it doesn't, well, we'll still be having a lot of fun. I'll see you in round 1. Thanks for watching Drafting with Morgan. Make sure to click on the playlist link to watch the full draft, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It was a pleasure drafting with you, and I hope to see you in the next video.